22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. San Pedro, California, it's great to be with you. I'm coming to you live on the morning briefing today because we're going to jump on the El Patron and head over to Catalina Island and see if we can't catch a few fish over there today. So really looking forward to a fun day on the El Patron. We'll be headed over there. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch some bass. Today will be the last day where you can fish under 300 feet. So some sheep's head and whitefish and rockfish. And of course, I'll be shooting photos and doing videos all day long for you all. And coming to and fro the island, there is always the possibility of a bluefin tuna or two. So we'll be watching that for you also very, very closely. All right, I want to get you up to date on what is going on. I've been on the horn here this morning with Jacob on board the Pegasus, and he said, man, this night bite is back on again. Some really outstanding fishing going on board the Pegasus and several other boats. There's a lot of yellowfin and bluefin, a little bit of dorado, but mostly the tuna right now, close to Point Loma. Really, really close. Close to the coast, like Dana Wharf can get to it now. Newport Beach can get to it. LA Orange County based boats can get to this fish. So it's good. Now, last night on the Pegasus, they had 30 fish for only 8 anglers. Really good fishing. And they said most of those fish were 20, 25-pound fish. So they, of course, are looking for some much bigger ones. Now, out on the bank, Tanner, Cortez, out there in that area, we see a lot bigger fish, especially at night. Today, so far on board the Pegasus, he said 250 grams, small, shiny kind of jig was best of all. Anything heavier than that was really not getting bit. So once again, it seemed to be the smaller jigs that were working best of all. So we're going to keep our eyes on this, but it sounded like really great nighttime fishing. Some other boys out there near Tanner Cortez had bites on bigger fish, especially the Cadillacs, some of those long-range boats that are hanging out in that area. So overall, this bite is back on again and really starting to nibble. And we see that with our full-day boats out of San Diego also. That's a little bit more hit and miss. It seems the nighttime has been the right time. In fact, it seems like the fish in the daytime are a little more scattered out right now. It just seems like the fish are scattered and they don't bite as well, and they're a little bit more finicky in the daytime. So fluorocarbon is absolutely a necessity, and I'm talking about dropping down to, man, I hesitate to say 20-pound, but on that grade of tuna that's 15 to 20 pounds, it should give you plenty of pulling power on that fish. 25 is probably more reasonable because every once in a while, mixed up with that are some bigger fish. And if you hang, a 70-pound bluefin on 25-pound fluoro, man, you can have your hands full. And the longer you're on those things, the more that can go wrong. So you're trying always to get a bite on the heaviest line that you can fish with. And you're going to be able to figure that out by using your observational skills. Watching this guy over here, he's got a bite, figure out what he's using. He's using 40-pound. He's getting bit. Another guy's fishing 50 and can't get a bite. Just kind of figure it out. Make friends with a crew member. That always will help you a lot. Choosing a hot bait, changing that bait regularly, and even dropping your hook size down can help you when the bite is really finicky. So daytime has been a little bit more spread out and a little bit more finicky. And I say that, and I expect you to admonish that. However, I will add to it that everything is in a state of flux this year. I mean, it's this way today and tomorrow. It's wide open in the day and they shut off at night. So you just never know. Now, speaking of that nighttime bite, we were talking about some smaller grade tuna on board the Pegasus. I am not telling you to fish at night with light stuff. I prefer that you fish with 100 to 130 pound spectra with a 200-pound leader. That is the way to really get it done. And of course, if there's wind and current, you're going to want to go from a 300 to 400 gram lure. That will help you immensely in that nighttime bite. So keep that all in mind. We'll continue to watch it for you very, very closely. Let me jump you across the border about 70 miles down to Ensenada, where they're getting ready to celebrate Mexican Independence Day tomorrow. Feliz Dia de Independencia a todos nuestros amigos in Baja California y todo Mexico. I just want to wish everybody listening a happy Independence Day for tomorrow. Down in that neck of the woods, they're finding some offshore fish. Also, there's some fish on the kelps, a little bit of dorado, a little bit of yellowtail, but there's a lot of tuna marauding around there. If you don't find that lucky kelp or get in to that yellowfin or bluefin, then you can, of course, fall back on some really nice fishing around Todos Santos and Punta Banda. That area is producing some good bonita, yellowtail. There's calico bass. There's some rockfish in there. It's been really nice mixed bag fishing for its 4 reels, sport fishing, Mara's, sport fishing, a couple of really good guys down there, Blackfin, sport fishing, all operating down there near Ensenada or in Ensenada, and they've had their share of some really nice fishing. Also, we are departing Wednesday night on board the Amigo for a 2-day trip, and I talked to Mark Paisano Jr., the captain of the boat, and he said, Phil, as it stands right now, whoa, do we have options. And man, I'm especially loving the long-range forecast that I am looking at. It looks like it's going to be flat, calm out there, gorgeous weather. You have Cortez Bank, big yellowtail, still biting. If you want to go out there and play around with that, it has been excellent. Fly line bait, like 25 to 40 pound fluorocarbon, working best of all. Did I say www.opsonusa.com? Put in FA at checkout, and owner Greg Brown will send you a free love note along with a free gift. So keep that in mind. And that bite out there on those big yellows has been outstanding. So really good fishing there. Let me run you through the islands. We talked about Todos Santos, the Coronado Islands. Really nobody's looking at it anymore. There's been a few yellows there, a little bit of bass, nothing to write home about. As I say, the offshore bite is so good, everybody's not even thinking Coronado Islands right now. Same thing with San Clemente Island, those bluefin, big ones on the backside that you get kite flying. They're back there, and that's been an excellent bite also. But the island itself yielding a few yellows, some good calico bass fishing. Catalina Island, where we're going to be spending our day today, has been kind of hit and miss. Occasional yellowtail. Seems like you'll see them, maybe get one, and then you'll catch sheepshead and whitefish and a few calico bass. Nothing to write home about. Up in the Channel Islands, some superior rock fishing going on up in that neck of the woods. We continue to see outstanding rock fishing. Mostly, there's been an occasional sea bass, an occasional halibut, and that's still in the cards. There's no doubt about that. But for right now, it's mostly the rockfish up there in that neck of the woods. Now, on the local scene, there's still some really good bass fishing down in San Diego. The boys down there have been doing really, really well on calico bass. I've seen scores up over 100. A lot of them are shorts, but it's good action. And it seems like the new Seaforth every day has a yellow or a sea bass. So there's a few exotics down there. And very close to being offshore there now are some tuna and some other stuff mixed up with it. You start getting up to Oceanside and Dana, very close to those boys, 20 miles, sometimes closer than that, 8, 10 miles, sometimes 5 miles. It all depends upon water conditions. The oceanography is so very important to this whole game, and there's a lot of that chocolate kind of looking water out there, and it is not nice. And those fish are not going to bite in that water. But if you find the clean water and some bait in it, the water temperature is right, you got a shot at that. On the coastal regions, picking at the bass. Some days are pretty darn good there out of Dana Wharf. A little bit of halibut once in a while, a few sea bass. And today being the last day for sheepshead and whitefish, after today, you have to fish in 300 plus feet of water. So you're going to be catching bigger cod, but out in the deeper water, and it kind of eliminates the sheepshead and the whitefish and that kind of thing. Moving you up the coast, the LA Orange County areas, a lot of schmucked up water right out here. It's that off-color water, and the bass are not going to bite in it. In fact, I was talking to a guy who said he found clean water, he made a drop, started catching whitefish, sheepshead, calico bass, and then that water moved in on him, that off-color water, and it just shut the bite down immediately. So we're dealing with some of that. But these guys here in the LA Orange County area can find plenty of good water where they can take good care of you with sculpin and rockfish here today. And that tuna thing is not very far away. It's right out there. And it seems like every day the boys will go out, they'll catch rockfish, and then they'll give it a shot in terms of getting a bite on some other species like, you know, the tuna. They get a shot at that occasionally. So those guys are doing that. Up in Redondo, Marina del Rey, same kind of a situation going on there. We're picking at some rockfish and, you know, sheepshead, whitefish, a little bit of bass up there. Channel Islands, we continue to see some really good fishing on the Island Spirit. The Spirit's been catching whitefish and sheepshead and rockfish, and always trying, Cody Rogers, to get a bite on other species like, bonita, yellowtail, and barracuda, and other stuff like that. So that is something we're watching. Surf fishing wise, you find some clean water. There's good corbina fishing right now, especially fishing the sand crabs. It really has been good on the sand crabs. There's still a little bit of barred perch down there around Newport. Lucky Craft Lures producing some good fishing in terms of halibut. And there's more yellowfin croaker and spotfin croaker. I think we're late on our season. We got this yellowfin croaker bite kind of just hitting its stride right now. Normally, you can have that in May or June, July maybe, but it's just getting good right now. So it's a weird year. It has been definitely, kind of late. Let's put it that way. Did I say it's time for the morning briefing? Did I screw that up just because I'm doing a live show? It's kind of late to say it, but I got to say it anyway, don't I? You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing to end almost. Ah, delicious. All right, so, one more thing. Your surf fishing headquarters in Southern California, that is Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, right on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard. Drop in and pick up your baits today. All right, my friends, we'll continue to watch it for you very, very closely. Don't forget, October the 20th, we sail on board the Independence out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. 5 days of delicious food, of a wonderful crew, and of an incredible boat. I'll be there to videotape your adventure. And of course, we're thinking some really great fishing. October the 20th, make sure you go to independentsportfishing.com and sign up today. We'd love to have you on board that. 5 days, $2,250. And then we're going to have a couple more 2-day trips on the Amigo coming up, followed up by that 5-day. And we may do one more Horizon trip. Not sure about that. We'll be raffle drawing for the Penn Fathom 40 on Saturday at some time. Not sure what time. Not sure about my schedule quite yet. Might be late, might be early, but we're doing the drawing that day. If you want some raffle tickets, we can fill them out for you either late tonight or Saturday morning before the drawing. And we can do that. You don't have to send me a text. I'll send you the information on the raffle. You tell me how many tickets you want. I'll send you a photo of the tickets, and you'll be at 657-227-6459. All right, my friends, always good to spend time with you. Thanks for joining me for the morning briefing. I'm on my way out on board the El Patron with a group of great anglers, and as always, I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great day, my friends.